It's Tuesday night and this is Crazy Chris's Rants. We got a lot to go over this time. I thought once football ended, wouldn't have too much to go on, but apparently we do. So we'll get right into it. Myles Garrett of the Browns is reinstated to the NFL. He's the one that hit Mason Rudolph of the Pittsburgh Steelers over the head with Rudolph's own helmet. He was suspended for a number of games, and the NFL has decided to reinstate him. So we will see where that goes. Jameis Winston undergoes LASIK surgery. It's just kind of odd because he threw 30 interceptions and 30 touchdowns this year, and people are kind of making fun of that. Maybe his eyesight was bad because of the 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Most people don't throw that many interceptions during the season, so we'll see if it helps him any at all. Jay Bouwmeester of the St. Louis Blues suffered a cardiac episode on the St. Louis Blues bench. They were playing the Mighty Ducks, or not the Mighty Ducks now, but the Ducks. I guess it just depends upon where you go from. They were playing the Anaheim Ducks, and around in the first period of the game, Bouwmeester was on the bench getting ready for his next shift, and he kind of passed out due to whatever episode it was. They're still not 100% sure what caused it. They're just calling it a cardiac episode. He is recovering in a hospital, and he is doing well. Hopefully either A, they find out what's wrong and help and try to get him some treatment for that, or B, that it's just one of those weird things that happens once and hopefully will never happen again. It's very scary to see anybody have something like that on the ice, or anywhere for that matter, ice field, no matter where it's at, court, no matter what. It's scary to see that. So, the game against the Ducks was postponed. I think they'll make it up a later date. On Impact Wrestling, Michael Elgin beats Eddie Edwards to take a 2-0 lead in that best of 5 series. I don't know if they're really going to do anything with that or not. It's a little bit hard to tell. All we know is that if Elgin wins one more, he will beat Edwards in that best of 5, and I do believe he gets his Call Your Shot contract, which is that you can challenge for the World Heavyweight title at any moment. So we'll see how that goes. Jordan Grace finally wins the Knockouts title over Taya Valkyrie. Taya had the Knockouts title for quite a long time, and they had been playing that Jordan Grace was going to be the champion at some point, and they finally went ahead and done that, decided to go ahead and make that happen. So we'll see how that goes in the coming weeks. Another thing that we want to talk about, governor of our state, Jim Justice. There was a nasty incident at Greenbrier East when they were playing Woodrow Wilson in girls basketball. What I gather out of the video and everything that I've read is that a couple of the girls on Greenbrier East did some things. Of course, I'm sure Woodrow had some part in it too. I'm not saying they're completely not guilty or innocent in this case. You have physical sports, and everybody kind of gets into that. But a parent of a Greenbrier East person that was in the Greenbrier East cheering section got a little bit mouthy, and one of the coaches off of Woodrow was over there to calm the gentleman down, and it escalated a little bit further, and it caused the coach to get arrested from the obstruction of justice, or obstructing an officer call, and I'm not real sure why he gets arrested, nobody else does. You would think because he kind of said his piece and was going to go on, and the officer kind of arrested him instead. And then it hands down, the WVSSAC hands down a 2-game suspension for 5 of the players off of Woodrow Wilson. I understand we have rules that have to be followed, and the WVSSAC did what was within the guidelines that needed to be done. But my thought process is, why not, why not figure out some other thing than to take two games away from these 5 individuals who were checking on their coach. And I mean, these are like families. These are like families. When you spend that much time around certain individuals, they become family instead of something like that. Like if you've got a coworker at one of your jobs, or if you are on a team of some sort, you help each other out, and you make sure that everybody's in the same boat, and everybody's going along with everything, and you make sure that everybody's okay. And that's what these girls were doing. They were making sure that their coach was okay, because he gets arrested, he gets released later off of nothing. And it took a long time, and finally we got an apology, because our great governor of this state called those girls off of the other team thugs. And here's the thing, he's got to remember that these people that he just called thugs, these people are the reason that he's in office. These people are some of the reason. There are 55 counties in West Virginia. There are people that vote in each of these counties to vote you into office. And you show your character by calling one of those counties thugs. And it wouldn't have been, I don't think, it kind of shocked me that a lot of these schools and a lot of the people in Raleigh County were for Woodrow, even though, they maybe had kids, or they maybe even went to like places like Shady, Independence, Liberty, anywhere in Raleigh County, and they were in support of Woodrow. So, obviously the county stands together, and it's a problem when somebody calls somebody a thug. I know everybody talks about the president done it and things like that, but it's a shame when somebody calls individuals that, and the individuals are impressionable young, not adults, but young adults, teenagers to young adults. And what kind of example are you setting for your students and for your team and for your area? That's what I'm driving at. What kind of, you're supposed to be setting an example for these people, and you're not setting a very good example by doing that. Like I said, the president does it, but the president doesn't need to set an example, because when has the president needed to set an example lately? Obama surely didn't do it. And so, or the examples he set were not very good. And people talk about, no, Trump's bad. You look back on the last couple of presidents we've had, they've all been bad. One way or the other. They've all been bad. They've all made tons of mistakes and things like that. And that's how that goes. But just kind of disappointed in the governor, but I kind of I kind of expect that reaction from him, but he finally apologized. That eases it just a little bit more. He still thinks that they did no wrong or anything like that, or that he didn't say anything wrong. At least he apologized. And helps a little bit, but it's still that's a shame. That's a shame. Should have never happened. Should have never been said. The whole altercation should have never went. Should never happen. Up next, the NXT. Lio Rush beats Angel Garza for #1 contender to Cruiserweight title. We skip right over to AEW. Omega and Paige retain the tag titles over SCU. Nyla Rose defeats Rio for the women's title. Nyla Rose is one of these kind of imposing women's figure in wrestling.